This week on Alaska's Fishing Paradise, Captain Andrew Schultz gets acquainted with his brand new gal, the Stella Mae, and later we'll join in on Tlingit tribal member Captain Garfield George, who shares some of his silver salmon mastery. Deep in remote southeast Alaska, there lies a fishing paradise like no other.
Big fish.
Alaska's fishing paradise.
A new boat is a very special thing in any sailor's life. This is such a beautiful boat, and I would like to just say a couple words about the namesake for this boat, Stella Mae. Stella was just such a sweet person and a gentle, even-keeled lady. I think it's an apt recognition naming this boat after Mark's mom, Stella Mae, as Tim gets ready to christen her. And Tim, when you do, you should say, "I christen you Stella Mae." And just nail that, bust it right over this. It'd be right on the bowsprit. Boy, and I'm going to step away when you do that. But no, there's a little pull. Men that have taken their ships to sea, that have loved those bows creamed with foam, have learned deep in their hearts how there is yet a dearer thing than home. The sunlight on the spars, clean boards counted on the watch they keep, this and the rigging and the stars will haunt them ever, waking and asleep. Ashore, these men are not as other men. They walk as strangers down the crowded street, or sit brooding by their fires and hear again the drone astern where gurgling waters meet. And may even shed a tear as they think of the Stella Mae tied firmly to the Whalers Cove pier.
I christen this vessel Stella Mae. May God bless her and all who sail in her.
Oh boy, yeah, there it went. All right. Nicely done, nicely done.
We're gonna start salmon fishing first thing this morning. We'll fish some kings, we'll fish some silvers. Low tide's around 11:30, then we'll keep playing. My name is Andrew Schultz, captain. Yeah, last time you saw me, I was fishing on the Queen. This boat just came in, it's the Stella Mae. It is a Duckworth 28-footer, same length as the Queen, but it's a lot sleeker. It's a faster running boat, has a deeper V, so it's a lot more comfortable in bigger water, and she's fishy. She loves to catch fish. Hey, there we go. The herring mistress of the herring world. 140, guys. Go to 115, do long jigs. Just keep playing him.
I don't know what that means.
That means keep your rod tip up and keep reeling. It looks like a good fish. We'll be able to find out in just a second. Got him. Silver salmon first thing in the morning.
Is it silver?
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cole!
Good job, Sandy.
First one in the boat. Let me get it to the back here, guys.
Are we 150 still?
Oh!
Look at that right there. That whale.
Long jigs, guys, down at about Now the water column back up to right at 100, I see him.
I'm not feeling anything there at 100, Capitan.
I'm seeing him on the screen, but that's all right. Everybody pull him up. We'll find a bigger bait ball. This is all insurance. If the strips don't work, if my cured herring doesn't work, then we go to fresh. I always have fallbacks. Insurance policies.
It's crazy how you can just jig your own herring.
Isn't that great? It's one of the few remaining fisheries where you can do that. Most places you're like, what do you want to buy? You want to buy the blues today? You want to buy the greens? You want to buy the reds? Holy cow, look at that bait ball, you guys. Coming into it 60 feet. That's a full screenshot. That is a nice bait ball right there. I'm rigging up a mooching rig. I'm just taking a live herring, double hooking it, putting it on a banana weight. Since they've been having so much success catching salmon while bait fishing, we're gonna throw down a little bit of bait and see if we can hook up a couple more salmon. Mooch fishing. So when you guys hit 100 on the moochers, go ahead and slowly reel up, giving it nice easy jigs like we were rock fishing. If you feel something hit the hook, set that hook and just start reeling immediately. Set that hook into their mouths.
Oh, I have a herring.
That's your bait.
Oh.
Alaska's Fishing Paradise is brought to you by Whalers Cove Lodge and Juneau Convention and Visitors Bureau.
My name is Garfield George. I'm born and raised in Rangoon, like Kevin and Albert, the other guides that are here. I've been guiding here for about 23 years. Creek is, there's a bay down here. This is Killisnooda, then Hood Bay, and then Cheek Bay. And Cheek Bay was my grandfather, was the master of that bay. His name was Cheek George. He was like 103 when he died, so they were the last ones actually that are still living in a remote area. Well, we started off at Danger Point getting our herring. We trolled for a little bit after we got enough herring and only caught a couple pinks, so we moved. Asked Albert and Kevin what they're up to, and I knew they were running north because Albert got his fish up there, so I said, well, we better make our move too, and Parker Point is just another 20 minutes away, so we got there, and it took us a while to finally start catching, but once we did, we were doing pretty good there.
Silvers were just amazing up there today. Yeah, it was great.
I've never seen silvers that big. I didn't know they got that big, actually. But I didn't catch any of the big ones, but these guys did, and it was something to watch them pull those things in.
There's a lot of fish out there and lots to catch, and with our captain, he showed us where the fish were, just like they said, and we had abundant fish.
This one will be the biggest one. I can tell by the way the rod went. Ooh, nice flight out there. Reel it all the way to the flasher before you lift up on it. Yep. Oh, you jumped right in. Take me. Yeah. Jesus. That's a...
Oh, pretty good sized fish.
Captain Garfield grew up on the waters of Chatham Straits, and his coho heavy catch so far today only solidifies his reputation as one of region's best. Not just a fishing guide, but also a mentor He enjoys sharing his expertise with our eager-to-know anglers.
They wanted to learn how to run the gear themselves, so I showed them how to run the downriggers and bait up. The only thing I was doing for them was cutting the herring in small fillets, and they're pretty good at it for people that didn't run the gear before. They're really good at running the gear. We're gonna move up to this point here. There's a lot of herring there. Albert said they're still catching a few fish. We're gonna get closer to it. If we don't start catching there, we're gonna move all the way back to Danger Point and halibut fish. Try to finish up trolling in the afternoon later on. Net it from the side. The swim step gets in the way.
Caught all of them. There wouldn't be any more to catch for tomorrow. It's just the way it is. Fishing's fishing.
Bottom fishing for halibut, there's two types of hooks that are commonly in use. One is a circle hook, and this is a J hook, and they can have a rubber tail behind them, or this is one style where you use some skirts, and then it moves through the water like this, and it'll have like a herring on behind it. So there's two types of circle hooks. These are probably the most commonly used. This is a 12-aught, so that would be like for halibut. A smaller diameter hook like this one works better for black cod. So with a circle hook, they're designed to be used commercially as a long line hook, and they really hold. When they fish bites that, generally it hooks right around their jaw, so they don't take them deep, which means that you can release them without doing too much damage to the fish. So this is what we prefer for salmon and halibut, but you cannot wait for the bite and set the hook with these. If you're fishing and you're setting the hook and you're using a rig like this, most of the time you're just jerking the bait right out of their mouth. You have to let the gear set and wait until the fish starts to run away from it. Then you reel in hard and that twists the hook around its jaw. On the other hand, if you're fishing with a J hook, you do need to set the hook. So at that point in time, you feel them come up, start to bite, start to nibble. Generally, I bring it down slow until it comes up solid so that I know that it's in the fish's mouth. And then I set the hook. This is two different ways of fishing. If you can't keep your hands off the rod and let the fish set it with a circle hook, you're better off with the J hook.
After fish comes in the boat today. Stella Mae's first day salmon fishing. Oh, baby. Having clients like I did this week, the Kowalskis and the Navidis, really makes my job interesting because they are fishermen and their wives were not as much fisher people. But by the end of the trip, they both were asking for the rod, and they both were, the ladies were saying, I want to catch the next fish. And watching that transformation from a person who is not super fishy and is enjoying the scenery and taking photos to being rod attentive and pushing their husbands out of the way to get those rods, it was cool to see that metamorphosis. She keeps hooking and she keeps catching. Dottie in Southeast. Keith with a gorgeous silver salmon.
That is pretty. Look how bright that is. That is awesome.
Reel them up, we're gonna head out halibut hunting. I'm gonna take all the gear apart and then we're gonna head north to Fisheries Creek. You know, the other boats can make it, but it eats up all their day. They do a day trip to Fisheries or a day trip to Wilson, and we can do Wilson and Fisheries in the same day. The biggest thing is the fuel usage. When we're going 36 miles per hour, we're burning up to 24 to 28 gallons per hour. And at $5 to $6 a gallon up here in Alaska, we gotta be observant of our fuel usage because those price tags can go up quickly. So even though we can run, even though I do have the power, I find myself staying close to home just as much as I do find myself running. This boat, it's opened up a lot more fishing opportunities and it's expanded our fishery tremendously. We're gonna start off with some lighter weights today. We'll see if the current's ripping. If it is, we'll have to switch to heavier. But for now, we're gonna try to keep it a little bit more lightweight.
We'll rejoin Captain Andy on the Stella Mae a little later. When we return, witness an Alaskan float plane invasion. It's a unique and sleepy morning at Whalers Cove, but the silence is soon broken by the low hum of approaching aircraft. A fleet of chartered float planes from Juneau bears in on Killisnoo Island and soon touches down in the waters of the harbor. With a cargo of excited incoming guests, it doesn't take long to deplane and reload with outbound guests. With 5 float planes in rotation, it's a summer spectacle that is uniquely Alaskan. Let's join the action on the Chayik, where Captain Garfield George is heading south to the familiar waters adjacent to Danger Point.
Now we got 24 silvers off of Parker, so we're gonna go back to just a little ways from Danger Point, about 400 feet of water. Plus the weather might come and I'd rather be closer to home.
How far are we down?
About 20 feet.
There's kind of an art in catching halibut. You have to let them do all the work. You know, you just let them bite it and just start reeling them in.
My wife loves halibut, so I'm always hoping that we can kind of limit out on halibut, take back as much halibut as we can. We eat most of the fish ourselves. I love the fresh salmon. She likes the fresh halibut. And then all the other things that you catch, you know, the cod and the other things kind of mix in. It's really good.
I'm in love with whales. I've seen them in different places, but you know, here it's just they're out doing their business, and you know, and really not paying too much attention to us. And, you know, and that's nature. And Alaska is like that. I mean, it's just not the whales, but the rest of the animals up here, the eagles and everything. And it's an awesome place. Alaska is the last frontier, and it's beautiful.
All right, we're hooking up a little bit of a salmon belly with a nice trail hook there. Then we're gonna take herring head from yesterday's herring that they caught, that I processed up. We'll stick a double herring head on there. That's gonna go down, the halibut's gonna suck it right in. All right, that one's good to go. Gray got himself a beautiful Alaskan halibut, about 40 inches, about 30-something pounds. He inhaled that. So they say that, like I told you, the halibut, they can suck that bait in 100 miles an hour, creating a vortex in their mouth. And you can see it right there. I mean, he sucked that into his throat. That's a nice one.
That's a nice one. That's probably...
That might be a nice keeper.
Yeah.
Nice fish, Dottie.
Beautiful Alaskan halibut. What do you think?
I love it.
Man, any closer and we'd have to release this fish. 44.5 inches. Almost too close to call. Multiple.
Girl power.
Yes, Sandy. Beautiful 44.5 inch halibut. It's about as big as you are.
That's a good fourth fish.
Yeah, guys.
May this little ship bring much joy to countless numbers of people as they experience this beautiful part of the world, and give them memories that they can share for a lifetime and with their families. Always bring them back to harbor safe and sound. Just know that there's a very special thing that is happening here where people from all over the world have the opportunity to experience one of the last wild places left on Earth, really.
Alaska's Fishing Paradise is brought to you by Whalers Cove Lodge. Closed captioning is provided by Courier's Certified Welding.